Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Tevaron here, and welcome to another episode of Friday Night Magic. It's no secret that the Duels metagame is a little stale right now. We are all eagerly anticipating and awaiting the release of Oath of the Gatewatch, which I hope will not be too awfully much longer. As such, I have pretty much explored most of the competitive decks that are in the format, sans Thopters, because I really just don't like Thopters, to be honest. I've tried it several times. It's not really my kind of deck. I'm not saying it's bad at all. It's definitely a good deck and one of the upper tier decks of the format. It's just not for me. As such, we're going to have fun this week with the Green Machine. Again, this is almost certainly not the optimal build for an aggressive mono-green deck, but it works well enough and it's tons of fun to play. So let's see what we got in here. We have 3 Scythe Leopard. You will see that there is a minor landfall theme throughout the deck. Not that I was trying to go for a dedicated landfall deck, but it just kind of fit in with the aggressive curve. 3 Primal Bellows to hopefully get in there and finish the opponent off. 3 Undercity Troll. Possibly the best green 2-drop, though it is in competition with our next card here, which is 4 of Snapping Gnarlid. We're running 4 Elvish Visionary. 1 Nissa Vastwood Seer, because honestly you can't really run green without putting Nissa in there. She's just that good. No matter what your strategy is, she is synergistic with it. 1 Reclaimation Sage to perhaps destroy some artifacts or enchantments that are troubling us. 4 Wildsize. Not only does it pump and give trample, but it cycles itself. And when I say cycles, I mean it draws a card. So that is also really good. 2 Murasa Ranger. I'm not running the full 3. She's good, but I don't want to really clog up that 4-drop slot so much. We are running 3 Llanowar Empath, which is also card advantage if you manage to hit with it. 2 Outland Colossus, which is, just a big, huge, dumb guy that swings at the opponent every turn. 2 Conclave Naturalists for more artifact and enchantment hate, while being a much better body than is on the Reclamation Sage. 2 Rhox Maulers, which is a great trample guy that can almost always get renowned unless they just have enough creatures to completely absorb the 4 power or remove him outright with a spell. 1 Greenwarden of Murasa, who has always seemed to have been a little suboptimal to me because they have still yet to fix the second trigger here. When Greenwarden of Murasa dies, you may exile it. If you do, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. That has been broken since this set was released. Hopefully they will release a patch soon, or if not, and they're just waiting for the release of the next set, they will fix it then. If they do not, that's really sad. 1 Woodland Bellower. He is big and is a utility creature that fetches up another creature, usually a aggressive creature, or if I need card draw, we will fetch up an Elvish Visionary, or if we're dealing with an enchantment or an artifact, it can fetch up Reclamation Sage. Just an all-around great sort of end-game guy there. Our mana base is exceedingly simple. 17 Forests, 3 Rogue's Passage to make our guys unblockable, and 4 Evolving Wilds. The Evolving Wilds are a concession to the landfall in the deck. Also, 24 lands is nice to make sure you get your lands early, and the Evolving Wilds helps to thin out so that hopefully you will not get flooded late. That being said, the proof, as they say, is in the pudding. So, let's see what this pudding tastes like, shall we? Okay, I am quite happy to keep this. I'm also really glad that these Scythe Leopards seem to find my opening hand to be a pleasant residing zone. Tend to get those for 1-drops, way more than I really should, as they're the only real 1-drops in the deck. I don't think Primal Bellows actually count for that. Alright, go ahead and get our landfall trigger. No reason to hold off since our opponent is tapped out, nothing they can do. We'll play our Troll and swing for 2. We also have not Primal Bellow, but Wildsize in hand. The pump and trample of which will serve to make it more likely that our Troll will get his renown trigger. Ooh. Core Blade Whirl. Wonder if this is an ally-centric deck or if that's just in there for utility purposes. Well, we want to get our landfall trigger. Then we will swing with both of these. If our opponent chooses to block, we will save whichever creature gets blocked. Doesn't appear that they want to, so I will not waste the Wildsize at this point. Instead, I will go ahead and deploy a second Troll. Let's leave a green up just for the Primal Bellow bluff purposes there. See if our opponent... Oh, Esper colors. So it is an allies deck, it appears. Do I want to block? I don't, because not only is that guy lifelink, he is now first strike. Or she. She is now first strike due to her rally trigger. Would very much like to draw another land, please. And I did. Thank you. We won't sack straight away. We will save that for combat. Go ahead and attack. And once again, if something gets blocked, I will be wild-sizing it. And it is not, so I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice this Evolving Wilds. Getting a forest. Swinging for 8 here, putting our opponent to 8. If they play another ally, though, they will get some life gain off of that. I'm going to go ahead and play Visionary, again leaving up a forest. Just so our opponent, if they're thinking of it, will consider the possibility of us having a Primal Bellow. There is another Lantern Scout. I'm very glad that lifelink does not stack anymore. So we are going to be taking 5 and our opponent will be gaining 5. We are definitely not blocking here. So our opponent is up to 13. 10, 11, 12. We have potential for 12 damage here. Let's go ahead and play our Evolving Wilds for the landfall trigger. And our opponent can crack back for 8, gaining another 8 life if they do indeed have another ally. I think I'm just going to swing here. Attack with all. Confirm. Again, see what our opponent chooses to do. Okay, they are blocking here. So we will fetch. And I want to kill that Lantern Scout. And it will also give us another point of trample. So we'll wild size our Visionary here. Draw us into Nissa. So we have 10 going through, taking our opponent to 3. They can potentially swing back for 5, taking us to 8 and gaining 5 and putting us tied at 8. Ooh, retreat to Emeria. Okay. Yeah. So that triggers the lifelink / first strike there. 4. We may be a bit short on damage here. We shall see what we draw. Gnarlid's not going to do it. I do think that we attack. Let's go ahead and get our landfall trigger there. So 5, and if they get a landfall trigger, they can go to doing 7 damage to us. Yeah, let's swing out. I don't want to give anything unblockability at this time because I want to cast some things post-combat. Yeah, they're obligated to block there. If we had a Wildsize at this point, that would be pretty much game because of the trample it would give. So let's go ahead and play... Let's be mana efficient, and we'll play Murasa Ranger plus Snapping Gnarlid, using up all our mana that's available this turn, giving us 2 blockers as well if it becomes necessary. See what our opponent can muster. Okay, which use of retreat will you be? Okay. Alright, so more life linking and first striking. Okay, I'm not going to block this. Yeah, we'll take 3, let our opponent gain 3. See what they have post-combat here that they think is going to get them out of this situation. A skirmisher, okay. So that guy is a double strike. So they can block Troll, block Gnarlid. There'd be 3, 4, 5 getting through, which is not enough. Can make Murasa Ranger bigger, which will make them have to block it, which will be Troll, Murasa. This guy will be 3. This guy will be 2, which still will not be enough. Our opponent could... No, they would not be able to get us on the crackback because they would lose 3 of their creatures. Let's go ahead and see if we can get this. I don't think we can win this turn, but we can maybe set up to win next turn. Yes, please. Give us a forest. We will play that forest, getting our landfall. Yes, I do want to pay that. If we get a land off of Nissa, I think we can win. But that's the only scenario I think we can win this turn on. And we didn't. Okay. Alright, they do have to block 3 creatures and lose 3 creatures. Attack with all. Confirm. Alright, block there, block there, block there. 5 gets through. Right. If they can do 2 lands this turn, they can kill us. Or if they have any other sort of... Well, apparently not. I was going to say an Evolving Wilds would do the trick because they could do 2 pluses off of the retreat. But that was not the case. And so we managed to hold out long enough to get there. Alright. So double Primal Bellows. Sure. Pay it. Yeah. And we will simply attack here. We will go ahead and spread out our Primal Bellows, just in case of some removal. And that will be way more than enough to kill our opponent. Let's hope the rest of these games go as smoothly. This hand is tempting to keep, but I don't think I want to. Let's draw another hand. This is much better. Keep. Once again, thank you, Scythe Leopard, for deigning to be there. Turn 1 Scythe Leopard makes the games a whole lot better. We see red and green off the bat for our opponent here. Hopefully they will not be removing our Scythe Leopard from the battlefield. Oh, Gate Creeper Vine. So probably some sort of rampish deck. Controlling almost certainly, since it is the Gate Creeper Vine. We saw a Plains flash by as the fetched card there. Let's go ahead and landfall. See if our opponent wants to go ahead and prevent 2 damage here. The question is, do we play Snapping Gnarlid or Troll? We probably play Troll in an attempt to get him renowned as early as possible. Argument could very well be made to play the Gnarlid though, as he has more damage potential right off the bat. With both the red and the white in our opponent's deck, we are probably going to be facing down a lot of targeted and mass removal. Let's go ahead and get a landfall trigger. We could play the Visionary first, trying to draw into a Primal Bellow, but I'd rather not do that at this point. I would rather get our aggressive stuff on board. And unfortunately, we can't play around mass removal too awfully much with this deck, or we will delay our win to the point that our opponent will be able to get their stuff online, especially if they are a very controlling build of deck. Which it is very definitely looking like they are. With the Gate Creeper Vines and the Moonvuli Acid Mosses. Okay, it looks like they are straight up Naya. White, red, green. Thank you for the forest. Since they are tapped out, I'm going to go ahead and play this Visionary pre-combat. See what we expose here. Our opponent does now have enough land out to Planar Outburst, so I'm not going to play the Scythe Leopard that we drew. Play around mass removal as well as we can, while still having a decent pressure on the opponent. Would love to have 3 land open so that we can regenerate our troll through a removal spell. So we could see... Oh, we're not. I was going to say we could see Planar Outburst or Radiant Flames or even Tragic Arrogance there, but we did not. 4, 5, 6, 7. Barring our opponent having removal, a land would have gotten us there. I'm going to try to dig for one. We did not hit it. Well, let's attack with what we've got. Fog. Well, that's unusual to see fog in a Naya build. It definitely worked here, though, to our opponent's advantage. Usually, you see fog in Sultai, or even sometimes Simic sort of milling decks. So here is some life gain for our opponent. And the third Acid Moss is honestly pretty ridiculous, but what can you do? Their opponent put them in the deck. They're just as likely to draw the Acid Moss as any other card. I don't know that it's going to be enough, though. Well, that second land helps a lot. Got 8 on board. We could have as much as 10. And we will have 10. So let's do 10 damage. Again, I'm going to keep holding on to this Scythe Leopard, just in case. Ah, the last card is a fog, so I will be playing Scythe Leopard. If our opponent top decks mass removal, then that's just the way it is. We have perfect information at this point, so we will be exploiting that information. So we now have 9 damage on board, but our opponent is at 15. Again, no cards in hand, so the only removal we have to worry about is the removal that comes off the top of their deck. Well, that's not adding to our damage at this point. Those 3 acid mosses hurt very badly, but if our opponent does not draw something very good right here, they will not be able to stay in this game. And I don't think that does it. That should be the ball game, unless they're playing with secret invisible cards. On to the next one. Okay, this is horrible. We can't keep this. This isn't much better. Show us something else. I guess I'll keep at 6, as awful as it is. Come on, top decks. Well, that's good. Let's go ahead and use our Evolving Wilds here. Saving 1 for potential landfall triggers. Ooh. Okay. It appears we are looking at some sort of aggressive Celestia build here. Yep, confirm. Alright, so Forest Visionary. Okay, Nissa at least gives us a 3-drop next turn, so we will potentially curve out from here. Still would have very much liked to have had something a bit more aggressive. I'm going to attempt to kill this. Don't really expect it to be successful. Maybe I was wrong. Okay, Citadel Castellan. So it's one of the Celestia renowned builds. Makes me not want to play Nissa because I will need to block to keep that thing from becoming renowned. So let's just go ahead and play Visionary. We are drawing all the Evolving Wilds this game, it seems. If our opponent is running Wildsize, they can still get the Castellan renowned. We're going to do our best to prevent that for as long as possible, though the Rogue's Passage on board does give a certain inevitability, as does our opponent's continual playing of creatures. Is that till... yeah, it's till end of turn, okay. Alright then, well, let's drop Murasa Ranger. That way we can block something profitably, perhaps. Maybe our opponent will not have a 5th land to activate Rogue's Passage. It seems to be the case. Alright. Let's hope for no combat tricks as we try to knock off the Castellan here. Not so lucky. Yeah, I think we have just been outgunned this game. A suboptimal draw and a pretty optimal draw for our opponent keeps us from getting there, I would say. So that seems like there's more combat tricks in store. Let's go ahead and at least trade if it is a Wildsize. Celestial Flare. Okay, we're just getting blown out. Yeah, that one, as it's my only choice. Valward Avian, just playing all the renowned creatures. Well, Woodland Bellower cannot come down this turn. Can I even live another turn here? I think so. Though it's going to mean I have to block with Nissa to do it. Yes please. Give us a forest. Alright, well, let's play this without a target. I could just block with Rhox Sage on the Castellan, taking 6, but if they have a Wildsize, then I'm dead. Okay, they don't. They have Valerian Wardens, though, which is going to definitely draw them 1 card. Cannot block this Avian. 4, 7... Okay, I'm going to double block here. Well, not double block on 1 creature, but block with both. Confirm. Kill this skirmisher off. Not that I expect it to actually get me back into this game, but... Okay, so we play our Bellower. Get another blocker. We can block the 2 biggest. And theoretically still live, so I guess we'll do that. Let's fetch first to thin our deck out. Yes. We will Bellow then. Yes, I would. And I think I would like a Visionary, since it's going to be chumping here. Okay, never mind. We're dead. Well, you can't win everything. In fact, sometimes you aren't even in the game at all. Okay, I like this hand alright. We'll keep it. It's definitely better than our last hand. And here we're going to save the Evolving Wilds, I think. Get extra activations on our Gnarlid. Hopefully he will not just die. Alright, so our opponent is almost certainly a control deck of some sort. Maybe just straight up Dimir. Alright. 2 Gnarlids is quite nice as well. Just having a threat on board, if this deck is a slow grindy deck, is very nice for us. So Esper. Yup. Definitely control. So here we will be playing our Wilds and our Gnarlid, and we won't be cracking the Wilds. We will save it for potential of 3 activations next turn with our other Evolving Wilds. Telling time. Will you find something to kill my Gnarlid? I hope not. It certainly is a possibility. Alright, let's play our other Wilds. Then we will attack. Confirm. Let's sack one. We'll let that resolve. And we'll sack the other. Alright, I'm happy with 5 damage at present. Let's see if they have a counterspell. Horribly Awry is the only one that would work right there. Guardian of Tazim is not very nice. Huh. Let's see what we can draw here. Okay, Wildsize. So I will swing with the Gnarlid, and perhaps our opponent will block with his Guardian. Don't really expect that to be the case. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for obliging me there. I very much appreciate you letting me remove that. Though we're liable to get board wiped here. Yep, okay. At least we have things in hand to redeploy. And we will begin with Rhox Maulers. See if our opponent can deal with this Rhino Soldier. Possessed Scab. Gets a creature, instant or sorcery. What are you getting? Fleshbag Marauder. Okay. Well, our Mauler is going to become renowned here. And unfortunately for you, we're going to deploy enough creatures that Fleshbag is not going to actually be an issue for us. Though other things that are in your hand could be, such as Planar Outburst. Let's go ahead and Bellow. We will get a Visionary. Yes, please. And our Visionary will hopefully be sufficient fleshbag fodder to keep our other 2 larger creatures alive. There's the Outburst. Unfortunately for us. And now we have to remember that our opponent did indeed play get back a Fleshbag Marauder. So we need to play with that in mind. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and play Troll. We will also be playing Reclaimation Sage. Yeah, that is 2 sweepers. They most likely only have 2 left unless they're also playing Tragic Arrogance in the deck. Jace hits the field there, as well as Jessian Thief. Alright, well, let's attack. See if we can get our opponent with another Wildsize. And it appears we can. Would I rather kill the Thief or the Jace? I think Jace is more of an issue for us. So let's deal with him. Okay, our troll is renowned. And we're going to go ahead and drop this Murasa Ranger as well. Hopefully we will not get planar outbursted or languished again here. Sire of Stagnation. Well, that's a guy you don't see played a whole lot. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, that player exiles the top 2 cards of his or her library and you draw 2 cards. That's quite bad for us. So, what is the proper method of attack here? Kind of feel like just giving our troll unblockability is pretty good. Though I also want to get this Greenwarden down. I definitely don't want to play a land and give our opponent 2 cards. Let's go ahead and play Greenwarden. And we will get back. I think we will get back Bellower. Could have gotten back a Wildsize, but I prefer to get the big threat that also generates more threats. And I will be taking the risk and going ahead and dropping this Scythe Leopard as well. Again, not playing our land. We don't want to activate that Sire of Stagnation if we can prevent it. He is definitely stagnating the board. That is for sure. Gideon as well. Okay, Gideon makes a creature. Block with 3. 2, 3, 4. Flesh bag, okay. Well, we will be sacking Visionary. Conclave Naturalists is a nice beefy guy. I think what is going to be best for us, though, is to just try to end this game as quickly as we can. Which means swinging with an unblockable Greenwarden at our opponent's face. One more turn of that should be all that's necessary. Could be seeing spot removal that will make that not true, though. Emerius Shepherd. Yeah, I don't think that gets the job done. No, not at all. It's like our opponent wants to attack us with Gideon here, which is perfectly fine. I'll take that too. You have no cards in hand. I don't think 13 damage is going to do anything that matters. And that is the ball game, folks. I do hope you've enjoyed this episode of Friday Night Magic. I've certainly had a lot of fun with it. Hope to see you back next week when we will be exploring some other concoction. But until then, friends, be excellent to each other.